Ladies and gentlemen, how you folks doing? Welcome here to the Monday Night Raw review for June 14th, 2021. My name is Conman167, and I thought that the show was pretty good. I thought it was. Not too bad, not too great, somewhere in the middle. There's a few interesting moments, but we're going to talk all about it, so let's get right into this Raw review. We started off the show with the spooky Alexa Bliss inside Alexa's playground, and her guest at the moment was Nia Jax. Nia was not too happy after all of the recent stuff with Shayna Baszler. Of course, why would she be? But she had some words for Alexa Bliss saying, "This is not the person who I know. We used to be friends." Alexa doesn't think they were friends. That sets up a match later tonight as Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are set to go one-on-one. We then got our first match of the evening, which was Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Cross. And Cross recently has been picking up win after win after win. She is on a 3-week win streak here and getting the chance to go up against Charlotte Flair. During this match, Rhea Ripley came out and Charlotte Flair was a little distracted at the Raw Women's Champion at ringside. Of course she was, but Nikki Cross took full advantage as Charlotte Flair was having a little bit of a chit chat with Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair got counted out and Nikki Cross beats Charlotte Flair. So after a few weeks, Nikki Cross has now beaten Charlotte Flair and beaten Rhea Ripley on multiple occasions. Nikki Cross, is she being set up for a future women's title opportunity? I mean, it certainly seems that way because Nikki Cross just keeps scoring win after win after win. Truly the ultimate underdog in WWE right now. I love what she is doing. But after the match, Charlotte Flair got a little bit of revenge, if you will. She goes and she attacks Nikki Cross. Big boot to the face, but Rhea Ripley comes on into the ring, saving Nikki Cross and hitting the riptide on Charlotte Flair. Plants her down into that mat and just kind of walks past Nikki Cross. So Rhea Ripley looks like a badass. But we have a thing to talk about, okay? No promotion should be trying to get a champion over without defining their character. Rhea Ripley does not have a true babyface or a true heel persona right now. She is lost in the middle. And when you're trying to get a champion over like Rhea Ripley, it makes no sense to not have a defined character. Look, I'm not asking for her to be babyface for her whole career. I'm not asking for her to be a heel for her whole career. But it would certainly be nice if WWE could pick a character right now, because as of the moment, she just goes and she berates referees and she berates backstage officials. She's talking down to Nikki Cross, but then she's playing the good person against Charlotte Flair. So I don't get what's going on with Rhea Ripley. They need to define her character because as the Raw Women's Champion, she is becoming more and more dead in the water every single week. Like, this was a good week for her, no doubt, but is she a babyface or a heel? Because I certainly can't tell. Up next, we have ourselves John Morrison versus Jeff Hardy. On paper, this match should be really good. Unfortunately, it didn't really deliver here today. Jeff Hardy certainly seems like he's a step lower right now. I don't know if it's age catching up to him or what it is, but Hardy doesn't look good in this ring. But anyways, Jeff Hardy versus John Morrison. This match starts off by John Morrison squirting Jeff Hardy in the face with the Johnny Drip Stick, because that somehow blinds him. Not long after that, Cedric Alexander came out to our surprise and was staring down Jeff Hardy. Obviously, this plays off of last week where Jeff Hardy beat Cedric Alexander. John Morrison takes advantage, hits the Starship Pain, beats Jeff Hardy, and Cedric Alexander now starts to berate Jeff after the match. Cedric says he wants to send Jeff to the retirement home, and Jeff is like, well, if you want to do that, I'm ready to fight right now. So remember, Jeff Hardy just lost a match, and he's about to go one-on-one with an up-and-coming star in the name of Cedric Alexander. It would be a damn shame if Jeff Hardy were to beat him clean. And Jeff Hardy beat him clean. And the moment that Jeff Hardy put his career on the line in this matchup, I think most people knew that he wasn't going to be losing. But what is going on? Hardy just had another match and you're making Cedric Alexander look so weak. First, he lost his match against Shelton Benjamin, and then you continue on with that feud. He gets it right back against Shelton. Then he loses to Jeff Hardy in back-to-back weeks. Maybe they're getting Alexander over on the mic. Maybe they're getting him over as a despicable heel, but I just can't comprehend why somebody like Cedric is losing to somebody like Shelton Benjamin and Jeff Hardy. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Eva Marie is up next, and if you have been paying attention to the rumors, you would have heard that Eva Marie was going to have somebody by her side. It was down to Mercedes Martinez and Piper Niven. Well, Piper Niven gets the call up. She comes down to the ring next to Eva Marie. Eva Marie is dressed ready to go, thinking that we're going to actually see her wrestle, but Piper Niven takes over for her, gets in the ring against Naomi, and absolutely squashes her. Like, when I say squashed, squashed. Less than a minute, Naomi was donezo, and Piper Niven picks up the win. But after the match, Eva Marie announced herself as the winner of the match. So, the heel heat is going to be there. I think that this will be very successful for Eva Marie and Piper Niven. There has been one thing, though, a name possibly being presented here for Piper Niven. Some people have been looking online, and the rumor going around is that Piper Niven is going to be named Dewdrop. Dewdrop. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I think it could be a lot of fun. Depends how the commentary is able to play off of her name. But Piper Niven, known as Dewdrop, potentially. What do you think? Do you like the name? Do you hate the name? Your thoughts, let me know in the comments below. Then we got ourselves what I considered to be the match of the night. It was The New Day versus RK Bro. I really have enjoyed this storyline between Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Riddle, and Randy Orton. It's been a very refreshing storyline, and I just want to see it continue. Throughout the match, there's a lot of talking points, but the finish of it was basically Xavier Woods rolling out of the corner, hopping up, and Randy Orton hitting the RKO out of nowhere. So Riddle and Orton beat The New Day. So, time for another WrestleMania rematch and Monday Night Raw rematch. It is time for Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Non-title, but should be a good one. Both performers are excellent in that ring. And you know what? The match delivered. It was a solid enough match. No complaints with it. In the end, Asuka got beat by Rhea Ripley, who hits the Riptide for the 1, 2, 3. You know, it was a really solid match. Not too much to complain about here. In the end, Rhea Ripley picks up the win with the Riptide over Asuka. And so Ripley, the women's champion, continues her momentum forward, going on to Charlotte Flair. But at the end of this match, Charlotte Flair came back out and started attacking Rhea Ripley to the point where we needed officials to separate the two. That is how we build to their match this Sunday. Are you excited for Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair one more time? I think it's going to be good. But Rhea Ripley definitely got the better of this exchange. Charlotte Flair's nose was bloody to all hell when she was walking away. So a little bit of a Becky Lynch moment for Charlotte Flair. She stuck her hands out to the side as well. Just still not the same visual that Becky had back in the day. But this one's got some momentum, and I'm looking forward to it this Sunday. Now we get Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. And look, this one, it was what it was. Alexa Bliss and Nia, they've got some okay chemistry in that ring, but the match itself was never going to be the talking point. In the end, there was a disqualification finish as Reginald came inside the ring to break up the pinfall, saving Nia Jax, thus giving Alexa Bliss the win. But there was a weird moment that happened very shortly after. Alexa Bliss just tilting her head way to the side to the point that I think she's got neck issues, and she somehow mind-controlled Reginald by just tilting her head back and forth. Reginald was completely hypnotized at Alexa Bliss, caught in her eyes, and I guess Alexa's got some sort of hypnotizing ability. Maybe she's controlling the strings of her opponents like puppets. I know that might play into the Firefly Funhouse, but I guess Alexa Bliss has mind control powers now. Let's cut backstage just for a second as Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and MVP were back there. This has become a thing we are seeing on Monday Night Raw more and more frequently, but Kofi Kingston almost being convinced by MVP that he can be better than he is, that he has been better than he is, and MVP just basically trying to talk him away from his friends, getting in his head. I wonder if down the line Kofi Kingston is going to turn on Xavier or is going to turn on the fans. I don't know, but It could also be something where Xavier Woods eventually turns on Kofi Kingston. What if Xavier Woods gets tired of being dismissed by MVP all the time and putting Kofi over constantly? Imagine that. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with MVP, Kofi, and Xavier. Up next, we have ourselves Elias versus Ryker, and WWE is desperately trying to get Ryker over as a babyface. Newsflash, it ain't gonna work. Nobody in the WWE audience wants to cheer for Ryker. Just nobody wants to. You're gonna pick Elias over Ryker, and that's who's gonna be the big face in this story. So you can position Elias as the bad guy all you want. You can position him as the one who is walking away from the matches. At the end of the day, we are cheering for Elias, damn it. But yeah, in the end, Elias walked out again, just like the previous week. Took the countout loss. Ryker wins. Now on to our main event, and we could smell what was going to happen from a mile away. One-on-one, AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. I wonder what's going to go down. Now, I'm not trying to just immediately dismiss this match. This was a solid match between McIntyre and AJ Styles. They're both very good wrestlers, and they put on a solid match for the 10 minutes that they were there before the disqualification finish happened, and that led into the 6-man tag team match, which was the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre versus AJ, Omos, and Bobby Lashley. This 6-man tag team match actually starts out 3-on-2 as Bobby Lashley was in a suit before the commercial break, and he needed to head to the back to get into his actual gear. But once he got into his gear, he came running down to ringside and tried to take out Drew McIntyre. After a little bit of back and forth, Omos started to take over the match, and he got rid of Eric and Ivar, dumping them both over the barricade, and Omos continues to look like a beast. I have loved everything they have done with him. They have not missed a step with Omos, and I hope that they hold on to these tag titles for a while. Like, don't get me wrong, the tag titles are not overly interesting at the moment, but AJ and Omos, I think, are going to be able to convince us over time that these are an excellent, excellent duo. I just can't wait to see what they do with these titles. In the end, AJ Styles went to tag in Omos, but for some reason, he tagged in Lashley. We were all confused. Lashley was obviously confused. I mean, shout out to Botch Guy. The most confused man on planet Earth is Bobby Lashley, correct? But Lashley, extremely confuzzled as to what happened, turns around and, oh, there's a Claymore boot right to your face. Bobby Lashley got knocked the F out, and McIntyre wins it for the Viking Raiders and himself. What a fun main event that was. It was never going to be a main event that is going to steal the show. It wasn't going to be a major talking point leaving the show tonight, but what it did is it got us ready for what's to come at Hell in a Cell. McIntyre standing tall over Bobby Lashley, and it could very well be the image at the end of Hell in a Cell as well. But that was Monday Night Raw. What did you think of the show? Let me know down in the comments section below. I legit thought that tonight's Monday Night Raw was a solid 6.75 out of 10. I want to hear your ratings, so again, let me know in the comments below. But that is it for us. Thank you so much for watching this very first Monday Night Raw review. If you have not checked out the channel Wrestling Hub, this is where they started. The last month and a half, I was doing these videos over there, and I wanted to give a massive shout out to him. Thank you for the opportunity. This is just the direction that I have to move in, and I hope we can work together again in the future. But thank you so much for watching. On your way out, make sure you leave a like on this video. Also making sure you are subscribed to this channel. And until next time, I've been Khan, and that was Monday Night Raw.